my posse has grown. It's turned into, I don't know, there's probably about 7 or 8 of us at this point. And we've come up with a rather ambitious plan. There's going to be storms for the next few days, so we're going to hang out here. Tomorrow we're going to do what's called slack packing, where we're going to leave the majority of our stuff behind here, take just what we need. We're going to do 16 miles through the storm, and then hitch back here to where our stuff is, spend the night, hitch back to where we left off, and then go. Actually, not hitch, we have rides set up. But it's a rather ambitious plan, 16 miles through a storm, but that sounds kind of fun, so that's what we're going to go with. At least a few of us will go with it. Everybody says they will, but I know when it comes to reality, most people are going to back down. It sounds like fun. Break a leg. That last little picture you saw was a screenshot from somebody else's phone. Huge storm is supposed to be passing through. Right now it's just a little murky out, nothing big, but they're calling for huge wind gusts, 70, 80 miles an hour, a few inches of hail. People are saying tornadoes. So, yeah, I knew we weren't really going to go do that slack packing thing. Everybody started drinking whiskey, so, once whiskey gets in, I knew the next day everybody's going to be worthless. I've been up for a few hours already, and everybody's still passed out in my room. They got people everywhere. It's like a dorm room in there. Not sure how I feel about that, I do enjoy having the company, but at the same time, too many people all up in my shit. Dude snored all night. I thought about murdering him a couple of times, but I didn't. Not his fault he snores. God, you snore, go get your own goddamn room. So, I don't know. So today the only goal is to go find a tent. Hopefully the 2 outfitters. I went and peeked in their windows yesterday. I didn't see a single tent inside either of them, but you can only see so much peeking in windows. So I'm gonna go, sometime today when they're open. They open kind of late, 10 and 11. I'm gonna go down there and see if I can get what I need. Maybe some new pants to keep me warm in the cold. Oh no, I scored new pants. Somebody gave me a pair of pants last night that turned into shorts. They're all waterproof and whatnot. That was really nice. People get rid of their crap along the trail. They got what they call hiker boxes. If you're carrying something that you don't necessarily need, you think somebody else might, you throw it in a hiker box. But this lady saw it sitting around. She's the same lady. I've been running into her and her father every day for the past, since I got here. Jim and Shelly, I've talked about them before. Run into them every day. They happen to be at the hotel I'm at too. I think they're stalking me. But she gave me a pair of her pants. Very nice of her. So I'm gonna sit here, ride out the storm with a bunch of drunk kids. They've got way too much whiskey. You would not believe. Well, there's the guy Whiskey Walker I've been walking with. They named him aptly. That dude was walking around with 3 bottles of whiskey on him the other day, so he got everybody drunk, himself included. Well, yeah, me too, but I don't drink as much as everybody else. I know my limits. So if a good storm passes through, I'll get a little bit of footage of that. I don't know. Hopefully it's bad enough to say, look, I'm not a pussy. Yeah, there's hail coming down. But really, without a tent, there's no way I'm dumb enough to try to survive in this stuff. So that's the goal, get a tent today and do pretty much nothing. Probably spend the night here again, and then tomorrow shove off nice and early. As long as I get a tent, that's the only real problem I have. I don't like sitting around though. I feel I don't know, like I'm getting less of an experience because this will be the second storm I've hid from. And I know I got plenty more storms I can ride through, but hell, I've only been out here a little over a week and I've already been in a hotel twice. Was not my game plan. I mean, my game plan was really loose, but so far I'm not adhering to it at all. I wasn't planning on being around people this much, and I'm in a bubble of people. But I'm having a good time. A lot of good people. I don't dislike them at all, other than the dude that snores. But I don't dislike him. I just dislike the fact that he snores. But good times nonetheless. Having a great time, but I need to get back out there. I feel kind of worthless just sitting around here. I can sit around anywhere I want. I want to be up in them woods. But with the way the sky's looking, it's probably a smart idea to hang out. I'll check in later if anything interesting happens. Gray skies, nice and crappy day. Just had breakfast with Shelly. Good times. Most of us are just going to hang out at the hotel for the day and let this storm pass over. I'm about to go into my first outfitters, and they do not have tents here. I can tell just by looking. I'm going to have a hard time finding a tent. I should have bought one in the last trail town. Oh well, live and learn, huh? Live and learn. Coming down pretty good now. I'm hiding out under an awning.
I picked up a tent. There's a hiker that came through here and sold his used tent to a place, so since there's no tents to be bought in the outfitters here, I don't get why. They have hammocks and all sorts of stuff, but no tents. I bought this guy's used tent. I'm gonna go back to where I'm at, set it up, and see if I can figure it all out. Hopefully everything works for me, and if so, cool. But I'm just hiding out here from all the rain coming down. The worst of the storm hasn't hit yet. It better be bad to justify taking another day off, because I do feel kind of pansy for taking all these days off in the beginning. But hell, what the hell? I got a long time ahead of me to walk through the rain. I might as well avoid it when I can. Well, it turns out a bunch of the crew I started off with in the first few days has caught up with us. Good morning, how you doing? So it'd be kind of nice to see some, you know, not necessarily old because it's only been a week, but it feels like it's been a lot longer than a week. But it'd be cool. We're gonna do a little reunion. More than likely there'll be alcohol involved. But it's fun. We're getting you know, the whole crew back together again, and we'll all start hiking again tomorrow once this weather clears up. I'm stoked. This whole thing is freaking exciting, man. I am loving life right now. Even though I'm soaked walking, you know, in the rain right now, this is still a beautiful experience. So glad I did this. But again, easy to say week one. Wait till it's week 3 or 4 and I'm miserable. We'll see how much I'm still loving it then. But all in all, better than having a 9 to 5 any day of the week. Evidently, this is typical hiker trash in a hiker trash room. We got them sleeping on the floor, hanging out in the beds. That's where I slept last night. Right there. There. We got them even down here. I mean, they're everywhere. This place is infested. We're gonna have to burn it down to clean the smell out, I swear. Rather glad I took a 0 here at the motel. Don't want to be out in this. I should be out in this. I got to learn to deal with it. But I didn't have a tent, and I'm using that as my excuse. I do have a tent now, but I haven't got to set it up because it's been just pissing on us. All the hiker trash are all just hanging out. We're drinking, smoking, you know, doing our thing. Oh yeah, kind of stuck. Gonna hang out here for the rest of the night. We'll try it again tomorrow. Supposed to get wet for the rest of the week, but today's supposed to be the worst day. Morning of day, I want to say 10. Now, I took like a day and a half off. I'm really ready to get back out there. Got really antsy. Just got off the bus with all these people. Dropped us off where they picked us up the other night. Plan is to go like a decent little 10 miles or something today. We got a couple mountains in between us and the next destination. Each one's about 10 miles, so why not cut them in half? Just ready to get back out there. Kind of wasn't even in civilization, and it was just, I don't know, sucked up. I'm really digging the woods thing right now. Can't wait to set up my new tent, see how that goes. Hopefully I'm not doing it in the rain, but you know, I just might have to. What choice do I have? I'll do it. It's officially day 9. I thought it was 10, but no, I just checked my calendar on day 9. Made it to the top of the first mountain. Decent little view. Nothing remarkable yet, you know, nothing that I'm like, wow, awe-inspiring, but you know, decent views. Well worth walking up a hill for it. I guess technically a mountain, but yeah, didn't feel all that bad. Maybe 2 miles uphill. Just kicking it out here, processing my thoughts over the past few days. Because that's kind of what you do when you're walking. You get in a zone and you think about shit and just let your mind roam. And sometimes I snap back to it and I'm a little paranoid that I'm on the wrong trail, so I just stare around blindly at trees hoping to find a white blaze so I know I'm on the right trail, because I have this big fear of backtracking, especially since the very first turn I took on this trip was the wrong turn, so that's always in the back of my mind. Past few days have been interesting, you know, a day and a half hanging out in a motel with a bunch of people I don't know. That's really different from me. I felt like some carny kind of shit for a bit there, you know. We're all just a bunch of, I don't know, assholes in a hotel room. I mean, nobody disrespectful, everybody's really cool and whatnot, but, you know, everybody's just drunk or whatnot and making a lot of noise and being kids, I guess. We got a little old, so, you know. Not that I didn't have a good time. It was just way outside of my comfort zone. I met a lot of cool people, you know. I actually shared a bed with one, nothing sexual or anything, but we did do a little cuddling, which was, you know, that's outside of my norm to cuddle with a stranger, but it was rather nice. You I want to be the little spoon sometimes. You know, nothing wrong with being the little spoon. It's not something you get to do every day. The quintessential hot chick from high school hit me up on Facebook or Messenger the other day. I didn't even know she knew my name. Sent me the longest paragraph I've ever gotten in a text before. Reminded me of a memory that we actually had together. I completely lost that. Morning, man. How you doing today? You're almost at the top, and then it's downhill for like 2 miles.
Yeah, I came out this way.
Okay. But yeah, you know, that was nice that, you know, she actually remembers me. But, you know, her paragraph that she sent me was written so eloquently, I don't know how to respond to it without sounding like a Neanderthal. But hell, I've got days to think about it before I'm anywhere near Wi-Fi. Coming down the mountain now. Oh man, views are pretty decent from here. I'm not gonna bother flipping around because I did anyway, but I doubt you can see anything because, you know, I have it on the rear facing camera. That's all for my close-ups. See when I do. I'm about 4 miles or so into my walk. I'm only doing like 10 today. Found a nice place to stop off, get a little food, get back, smoke a little bit of my cigar. I'm gonna kind of walk slow today, take it easy. I got a group of people that I'm gonna hang out with for probably the next 2 days or so, just because they're cool, it's convenient, it works out. But after that, I'm probably just gonna end up leaving them behind. If they can keep up, totally cool. But my legs are really getting into it. Like no problems today. All those days off really helped out. You know, when you work out the same muscle over and over, taking a day off is a pretty good thing. I feel strong. My butt feels like it's a whole size bigger. A whole size. I'm not gonna be able to fit in my jeans anymore. I'm gonna have to get some with back. Talking with another dude. Like a lot of things in this that you would think were bad memories that, you know, you probably would remember that way. Getting rained out, the pain, sore feet, all that stuff. Those are good memories now. Like, you know, and they're only a few days in the past, but they feel so long ago already. It feels like I've been here longer than 9 days. But they turn into good memories so quick. Like as soon as you get to the top of that mountain, everything below it was fun in your memory, even though it was grueling while you were climbing up it. Curious why life isn't that way. Why do I keep dragging my baggage on from one mountain to the next? Out here, when you get to the top, you can forget everything behind you. It just melts away into a fuzzy little warm memory. There's some good stuff. I'm gonna have to somehow apply this to life when I get back to it. If I ever go back to it. Maybe this is the lifestyle for me and I'm gonna figure out a way to just live out here. I am kind of afraid of integrating back into society, but that's a problem for another 6 months. Right now I'm here to enjoy, and I am enjoying. This is some good stuff. Still roughly halfway through my hike. Found a decent little scenic overview. I assume that's where I'm headed next. Kind of come around through here, up here. And I don't know if I'm headed down this whole ridge or if I'm headed to the other side. You know, this kind of stuff you figure out as you're going. But that doesn't look too formidable. I got this. Come around the corner. See this rock formation. This is the top of that next mountain I was looking at earlier. And boom. Lord knows what this thing picks up. But this goes on forever. I have no idea which mountains I'm climbing next, because technically I'm headed this way, so I can't see over there. But it might have me come down this ridge and end all that muckety muck. Kind of bet it does. I do see a trail over there somewhere. Lord knows it's the same one. But I think this is a pretty awesome spot to eat lunch, hang out, get a view, take my shirt off, get a little bit of sun, and give the people behind me a chance to catch up, because I'm probably at least a mile or so ahead of them at this point. But I'll get into camp, make it up, get it all set up, get a fire going before they even get there, chill the few beers I brought in whatever water source is nearby. It's gonna be a good day. Took a wrong turn on the trail. I ended up at this shelter, same time as this family, eating lunch, hung out with them. But yeah, that was a totally wrong turn, unexpected. Came across shelter, I was like, oh, where the fuck am I? So now I gotta backtrack a bit, but it could have been more than 100 or so yards. On this episode of Cribs, I got my new bachelor pad hanging out here. Got a little ventilation, bug net. Got the same thing going on up there. I think I set it up right, but you know, it looks like if it rains really hard, like
You know, rain might bounce up through this and get me wet. But, you know, that's how I'm going to learn. Have a crappy night. Tomorrow's supposed to start raining like pretty early. Something like 9 o'clock is what we've heard. There's 2 shelters. There's one at like 3.5 miles from here, and there's one at like 10. I'd much prefer to make it to the 10. But we'll see what everybody can handle, because I'm going to be up at the crack of dawn more than likely. Hopefully I can break this thing down. I set it up in like under 5 minutes, so once I get good at it, I bet I can get it down to 2.5. Break this thing down, get my oatmeal and my coffee in my belly, and get on down the road before the sun gets up. But, you know, depends on if it starts raining or whatnot. I might stop off at the first cabin, but I'm going to try to push to the second. Try not to put too much distance between the people I'm running with right now, but, you know, if it happens, it happens. It's kind of how the trail works. I got my one buddy, Whiskey. He took off. He did a little yellow blazing, which means jumped in a car and headed to the next gap up. So I just want to see if I can catch up to him, too. He's got a good 16-mile head start on me, so it would be pretty sweet to catch somebody who has 16 miles on you. He's a cool cat. Wouldn't mind seeing him one more time before he has to get off the trail. I'm hanging out in Sassafras Gap. I just like saying that, Sassafras. Gonna hold up here, see if anybody comes on down. I got a few beers chilling in the stream down there. Look at me, I'm even carrying beers with me. It's just extra free calories. And it's free beer. Who can pass up free beer? This is good stuff. Nice day today. Love just kicking back in this tent. Oh, I'm going to try not to take a nap so that I'm not up all night. But damn, this is comfortable. I better stop now before I fall asleep.
You would not believe how far and how downhill it is to get water. Damn near half mile it feels like, and it's just straight up and downhill. It's really hard to capture it up and downhill on camera though. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Another day in paradise. It is. It's Wednesday, April 4th. My 10th day in, around 4:30 a.m. It's a beautiful morning this morning, nice and warm. The stars are out shining. It's pretty beautiful out here. I learned a lesson with walking yesterday. 10 miles is not 10 miles. It was uphill, it was downhill. Beat me up pretty well, beat everybody up pretty well. I decided to stop for camp for the night. And pretty much everybody decided, when they saw me sitting there, was like, yeah, that's the spot we're stopping at too. It was a brutal 10 miles. Got the same thing to do today, but now we've got a storm chasing us in. According to weather reports, sometime before noon, it's supposed to dump on us. But, you know, it's the first day I've had walking in the rain, in real rain anyway. We'll see how it goes. It's supposed to be a bad storm, but I'm not overly worried. I got enough rain gear to protect me. Go pick up the charger for my phone today. Got to jump off trail a little bit for that, and that'll give everybody time to catch up to me. Game Blaney is another 10 or so miles down the road, is another campsite. That's where we're all going to meet up. I was surprised everybody made it this time. Let's see if they can do it 2 days in a row. It was great sleeping in my tent last night. Most comfortable night's sleep I've gotten so far. Definitely a good investment. Can't wait for the sun to come up. It's going to be a beautiful sunrise. But I'm going to go make my morning coffee and try not to wake everybody up. I've got at least 15 or so tents around me. So I actually had to walk down the trail a little bit just to make this video. Don't want to be a dick. Beautiful morning. So let's go get some coffee started. Yesterday's climb was pretty hard. It was only 10 miles, but man, it had some elevation changes in it. It was harder than 10 miles. We all camped early. I'm out here early doing it again. I don't know if you can see the light just creeping over the hills. I love this time of the morning. This is fucking awesome. So, this is gonna be like the steepest climb I've done so far. The profile in the book that the picture I saw, it was pretty intense. Afterwards, I got to run into town for just a second to pick up a package so I can have my battery powered. And then run to a shelter a couple more miles up the trail from there. because there's supposed to be a storm hitting today. They keep saying it's all bad, but they said that about the last one. It didn't look horrible, but that's easy to say from in a motel room. This one, I'm gonna walk through. I gotta, get that experience eventually. Get my ass handed to me by Mother Nature. Learn how to set up in the rain. Even though I'm headed to a shelter, I still plan on setting up my gear outside. It's just nice to have a shelter to run to, just in case I didn't do it right. It seemed fine last night. I'm really digging the tent. But, there wasn't rain pouring on me, so I don't know if I set it up right. Seemed good to me, though. Well, a couple hours into this, I think this is the last big mountain before the gap, but not entirely sure. It's a nice gray morning, very peaceful, but I keep hearing thunder coming from behind me. Temperatures dropped a little bit, the wind's starting to kick in. Hoping the people behind me don't get caught up in the storm. Hoping I don't get caught up in the storm. I at least want to make it to get my package before the storm hits, and then just hike a few miles in it. But we don't always get what we want, do we? So I think I'm being pink blazed. Blazes are things on the trail that we follow to know where we're at. Colors matter. White blazes means we're on the actual Appalachian Trail. Blue blazes mean all sorts of things. The first 8-mile trail to the Appalachian Trail was a blue blaze. Water sources are always blue blazes. Shelters. Then we got just lots of other terminology. Yellow blazing is getting in a car and driving to the next destination. But pink blazing is when you speed up or slow down your hike to match somebody else's, generally for some sort of romantic encounter. I don't know if it should be a different color when a guy's being pink blazed, but I got a girl that's been following me for the past few days. I'm not pulling really hard days, but she's having to pull some hard days to keep up. She's only been doing like 6 miles every day. And then when she met me, she started pulling 8s. Got her to pull a 10 yesterday. Gotta get her to pull a 10 again today. Because for those of you who know me, I don't necessarily slow down for you. If you're walking with me, that's because you can keep up. But she's a cool chick. I hope she's able to keep up. But with the way the trail goes, maybe we'll run into each other again anyway. This thing seems to separate us and put us back together. Last night, half the camp I was staying with were people that I met on the first day and lost on the second. And then tons of them just happened to show up where I was at. Strange how it brings you all together again. It's probably going to get even cooler once I meet more and more people. Just everywhere I go, there'll be somebody I know. Well, it's kind of nice for an antisocial cat like myself. It's all the allure of having friends, but none of the responsibility. I don't have to call these people, tell them where I'm at. Make sure their feelings aren't hurt. Hell, if feelings get hurt, I'll just walk a little faster and ditch that shit. But definitely a kick-ass experience so far. Just started raining. A little thunder rolling in the background. Guess it's time to put on my rain gear. Well, hell, I was hoping that wouldn't happen so early. I just got my hair did too. Damn. The sky has grown dark. The rain is cold. And the gods, they're angry. They got shit on me though. Just picked up my charging cable from the top of Georgia hostel. About a half mile off the trail. I did catch a ride there, but I'm just walking back. I ran into a bunch of people I knew down there, staying the night, trying to stay out of the rain, but I've done that a little too much already, so I think I need to, get a trial by water out here and get soaked a few times, get used to it. See if I can set my stuff up in the rain, see if it can handle the rain. Better be able to. So I'm walking back, hoping to meet up with some of the peeps that I was on the trail with. But, they might have peeled off already hiding in a shelter. I still have a good 5 miles to go before the shelter, and it's getting cold already. According to what I just heard, it's supposed to be in the 30s, low 30s over the next day or two. Might even get a little snow. That sounds kind of cool, actually. I wouldn't mind waking up seeing everything covered in snow. So, you know, I'll be snapping pictures of all that crap. I just don't like the cold. Cold hurts. But we're well into spring. There can't be a whole lot more cold coming up. It's coming down pretty hard now. Decently soaked. Came all the way down here to find a water source. Even though it's raining, I still need water. I'm pretty much out. I just traveled down this steep ass hill because it told me there was water. And you know, you can't tell, but all I have is this little trickle on the, right about there. All I got is that little trickle coming out. But you know what? I walked all the way fucking down here in the rain. I'm getting this water. This is miserable, and I'm loving every minute of it. Look, it's so cold that it looks like there's smoke coming out of my face. Yeah, but fuck, it's still beautiful. Takes more than this to ruin my spirits. Okay, way miserable. I mean, I'm not miserable, but it's miserable out here. I'm soaked to the bone. I'm pretty sure I packed all my stuff in my bag, so it should be dry, but hell, you know, this is the first time I've really walked through a rainstorm, so I might get to the shelter eventually and find out everything is soaked. But at least it isn't freezing cold. It's cold, but it ain't freezing cold by any means. I hope the people behind me are faring a little better than I am. Getting that water was a mistake. Turns out there's water just a bit up. Yeah, lots more than what I went for. And what I went for was so steep that getting down was a bitch, but getting back up after it rained even more was impossible. I kept falling down and sliding back down the hill. And I got mud all over my dress. Whatever. Screw you, Mother Nature. But all in all, good spirits. You know, they didn't have to bring me down. Hoping I'm only like 2 or 3 miles away from the shelter. And I'm hoping this is about as bad as it gets, but yeah, it's probably going to get worse. Bucket, bring it on. I can handle this shit. Just more concerned about the peoples behind me. See if they make it as far as I did. It's gotten cold. It's shooting a lot of lightning and thunder at me. It's starting to get a little dangerous. Yeah, I guess just for the lightning thing. I'm not worried about hypothermia at this point. But yeah, it's getting kind of mean out here. It's all foggy and cool looking. All right. I guess it'd be dreary and depressing if you're somebody other than me, but you know, the Wednesday Addams in me loves this shit. I wouldn't mind seeing lightning strike something close, you know, see a tree get blown up, or blinded by a tree that gets blown up. But I don't necessarily want to get hit myself. But it would make for a very cool experience to see a tree get splintered by lightning. As long as I'm not blinded deaf afterwards, which, well, more likely I would be. I've had lightning strike semi-close to me once when I was a kid, and I was blinded for the longest time. And shit, we don't even know where it hit. It was probably a half-mile away, if anything. But, you know, that's close in lightning terms. Good times. I hope I'm almost at the shelter, though, because it's getting decently cold. I'm soaked to the bone. And really, I'm ready to kick back and eat some foods and find some dry clothes in my pack. But I really have no idea where the shelter is. I should probably crack open my book eventually, but yeah, what the hell. There's more adventure this way if I don't know what I'm doing. I'm fucking frozen. I finally found the shelter. It's just up on top of this hill. But my hands aren't working anymore. It got damn cold. Cold. My fingers ain't working at all. I've already dropped this phone. Now there's mud all over it. I hope everybody behind me is all right. I hope they make it this far. But damn, I'll be surprised if anybody does. This was rough. Oh, rough. Long, rough day today. Hanging out in a shelter. Tons of people. At least there's 3 stories on this thing, so we can fit a lot of us in here. They're calling for ice and snow tomorrow. I'm curious if the people that I was cruising with are going to be able to make it this far. I don't personally believe they are. With that chick that was paint blazing me, if she makes it this far, I kind of owe her the D after all that. I'm a nice guy. I work real hard, I'll put out. But I somehow don't think she's going to make it this far. It was a rough day. It'll be a rough night, too. See if we wake up and there's some snow all over the place. That'd be pretty cool, at least. I'm going to be frozen. It might as well be pretty. Oh, it's real early. Day 11, I'm pretty sure it is. Stayed in the shelter last night. And it was pretty damn cold. Not as cold as they said it was going to be. People were talking about snow and ice and whatnot, but nah, it's just decently cold. I was a little confused getting out of there, though. It was a That shelter was a long way off the trail, and when I came in last night, I was pretty beat up, so I wasn't paying attention as well as I should have. So I've been wandering around in the dark here for a little while, trying to figure out my bearings. Pretty damn sure I'm on the right path. But yeah, there's not one way to really know, and that's to run into somebody going the wrong way. But I'm 99% sure I'm on the right path. I have no idea where I'm headed to today. None of my people I was traveling with, well, actually a couple of them showed up, but 2 people from the initial camp I was with showed up last night, but the majority of them never showed. I'm hoping they were smart enough to pull off, because it got pretty rough last night. Well, I guess afternoon. Time is getting all relative now. I'm going to bed at like 7:30 and 8. I was up at 3:30 this morning. But I'd rather be out here in the morning. It's nicer. There's no people around. And if the weather does turn shitty, at least I'm that much farther into my hike. But I'm just gonna keep walking until I get tired, find a place to stop. I know the next town isn't been covered for a couple of days, and I'm pretty sure I'll notice it when I hit it, so I'm just gonna wander for a while. I totally forgot I'm afraid of the dark. It is way fucking dark out here. Keep hearing noises out in the woods. There's something big out there, but, or is it my imagination? Could it just be a couple squirrels running along and it sounds really big? I don't know, but roar! But still, I'm mildly intimidated. I forgot I was afraid of the dark. Good time. Sun's not going to be up for like an hour, but I just couldn't stand being in that cabin anymore, or shelter, whatever it was. There's like 4 people snoring in there. It drove me crazy. It had me up at like 3:30. Yeah, I'm not a fan of shelters. But again, they intimidated me with reports of this weather that never happened. Talk about ice and snow. I mean, it's cold, but it ain't that cold. Pussies. But yeah, carry on. Okay, so maybe I was wrong about the rain. Okay, it's starting to rain, but it isn't snow, so it doesn't count. And I still feel like there's something following me. I know it's just my paranoia, but I know there's something out there. But the way my imagination works, it's not just a bear, it's a demon, an alien, a ghost, you know, something stupid like that. But I hear something. No, not right now, but every once in a while, footsteps. Maybe it's a log falling, maybe it's a chipmunk, I don't know. But my mind goes stupid places. Been out this for hours already. Probably on the trail for 4 hours. Sun just came up a little bit ago, but the wind is kicking my ass, and I needed a cigar, so I found this nice little spot on the path, blocked by the wind. But man, it's getting scary out there. Comes like a freight train of coldness. Beautiful day though, nonetheless. I mean, yeah, it's a bit nipply out here, but now the sun comes up and I'm not afraid of demons and aliens hunting me. It's quite beautiful again. I do like that early morning stuff though. It's nice to scare yourself a little bit. And if it scares you, just keep doing it. You'll eventually get over it. Will I eventually get over it? I've been scared of the dark for 40-something years now. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. I just suck it up and pretend. That's kind of how I do most of life. I have no idea where I'm going. I should probably open the book eventually and figure this stuff out, or download the app. Maybe I'm more likely to look at it if it's on my phone. But I probably should have a destination in mind when I set out. But I don't. I'm just going to cruise along until I'm tired and I'm going to stop. Unless I find a shelter, because I wouldn't mind making myself another cup of coffee. I've been fantasizing about my lazy boy and coffee all morning. It would be nice to be kicking at my lazy boy right now with a cup of coffee. If my lazy boy was out here, I don't want to be back in my apartment or anything. But coffee, lazy boys, and a cigar just go great together. Back to it. Okay, I have to redact. I did call them pansies for saying it was going to snow and being all afraid of the cold. And lo and behold, it's snowing. And it's cold. But it's motherfucking snowing. This is April. What the hell, Mother Nature? Get your shit in gear, man. It's supposed to be warm now. Yeah, I know I'm in the mountains. Don't give me no shit.
I wasn't expecting snow. I didn't know it was a possibility, but yeah, I was really hoping it wouldn't happen. Bet you none sticks though. Not enough to make everything pretty, just enough to annoy me and make stuff slippery. Alright, today does suck. I'll take it all back. Today sucks. It's cold. There's sideways snow. There's wind like you wouldn't believe. And this is so seriously uphill. Oh, it makes all the other uphills look flat in comparison. But maybe it's just because I'm fucking cold. I'm only a few minutes into the state, and it's already kicking my butt. I guess I had to go through this sooner or later. You know, this is part of the experience. But damn, my fingers hurt. It's cold. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm being assailed by ice falling from the sky. Remember when this seemed like a good idea? There's only one person to blame in this situation, and I blame Jesus. This is all his fault. Where's my good weather, Jesus? It's miserable, but I'm still having a fucking killer time. I had to put on my winter gloves because I let my hands go way too long and my fingers froze over, and it was so painful. I keep hiding behind trees every once in a while just to get out of this crap. Like this tree right here. I'm just gonna chill up next to this guy. Oh, I'll warm up for a minute. Man, I should figure out where the next place to hide is, but I don't feel like opening the book. Oh, that's gonna be the death of me. My first water source of the day. I was running really low. I wasn't really worried because how do you run out of water when this much ice and water is falling from the sky? But I'm not looking forward to getting my hands wet in this. I'm willing to bet the water is going to be just a little chilly. Just a little bit. So I ran into somebody from my original group from the other night. This guy's hardy as hell. When he came into the shelter last night, he came in before me. I came in freezing my ass off. This guy came in shirtless and shorts and decided he hadn't had enough, and he went back out into it. I went a few miles down the way. I passed his camp earlier. I didn't know it was him, but he told me where he was, and I do remember seeing a tent sitting right there. So at least I know I'm not the only one dumb enough to be out in this, because I was getting a little concerned. You know, this is how stupid people die, and we all do stupid shit. But you know, if it comes to worst and it gets really cold, man, I'll slice them open and climb inside. I'll survive the night. I met a couple right before Low Gap, it was called, and they were headed into town, and I thought, oh, that sounds like a pretty good idea. So when we got down there was already a dude waiting, some guy that had hiked before, him and his old lady, and they were just hanging out and picking up hikers and taking them to town. So 5 of us with all our gear crammed in the back of his truck, you know, knees wedged to your chest because there's other stuff in there, one of those big toolboxes, a spare tire. And we went for, I don't know, a half hour in the freezing cold. Oh, it was so painful. So painful, you don't even know. Like, I thought I was gonna lose fingers, kind of painful. When we finally got to where we were going, I had to sit there and run my fingers under cold water for the longest time before the pain would subside. So now I found myself at a hiker hostel. Gooder, it is called. Gooder. I'm making a run around, buy myself some supplies. My hair is getting so nice. Look how curly that is. Yeah. Gonna take a shower, spend the night, and then back to it tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice weather, so you know everything will be dry. Speaking of which, turns out the kilt that I've been wearing is made of cotton. Now I should have known it was made out of cotton, even though I bought ripstop. You know, they look completely different, but I think I went into a stage of denial when I got it because I was just happy to have my kilt. So now I got to contact those guys and see if they can do some sort of replacement, or am I gonna have to pay full price for another one, which I don't want to do. But you know, I have had the thing since like December, so kind of my folly for never checking it out. But wearing it in the rain the other day worked really well, you know, for cotton especially. I was warm the whole time, everything except my hands. But had I tried to wear it today, I'd have froze my ass off because that thing was, you know, 5 pounds heavier with water.
So, see what utility-kilts can do for me. Yeah, worst case scenario, I might have to buy another one.
Look at these curls. You know you're jealous. That's what I get when I sleep with Rain here. Some good stuff. Look at all that body. You know your jellies.
So that pretty much concludes day 11. I'm going to kick in this hiker hostel and be back at it tomorrow. See you then. And that's why you don't sleep in hostels, because you get stuck next to that asshole.